Is that good?
No, I'm not good. You're good.
I'll listen to it.
Okay.
So, if you're just joining us, Lennox is really into Warhead's Super Sour Spray. And it's a small bottle, size of a mascara pen. And you spray it into your mouth like Chloraseptic or Binaca. And so I bought 12 bottles for some reason. Well, I bought bulk. Because I didn't want to drive around to Walgreens and CVS and Rayleigh's, and they have it, they don't have it, or we're out. So I bought 12, and I gave him 3 bottles on Sunday. And there's not an exact amount, but it says at least 100 sprays per bottle. So 300 sprays. Is it 101 sprays? 150 sprays? 9 million sprays? I don't know. But so he had over 300 sprays at his discretion starting Sunday. By Wednesday, he was out. So 3 bottles, 3 days. He was spraying that stuff 100 times a day into his mouth.
100 sprays of sour sugar liquid per day.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
What kind of parents are we?
I don't know. I'm calling CPS right now. But it speaks to the power of, I tried it, whatever. I didn't get it. I didn't like it, but it obviously hits a chord with him. But it's like when, cause his friend gave him a spray. His first taste was at school. His friend had some, gave him a taste, and then he became an addict. So it's like when a drug dealer says, the first hit's for free, because I know you're going to be coming back for more. But yeah, 300 sprays in 3 days, over 300 sprays in 3 days. I have 9 more bottles that he doesn't know about. I don't know.
Well, I think we can't just let him have a bottle.
We definitely can't let him have 3 at once.
We have to keep these bottles locked up. We have to dole out like 5 sprays every 12 hours or something. Like we have to keep track.
It's going to be super difficult.
I know.
And oop.
We need a ring cam, or we need a nanny cam, or I don't know. I just want to give the stuff away. Give it to a really hungry guy.
We could just throw it away, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad.
No. And he still asks about it. And his new deal, well, it's barter and trading, quid pro quo. But so the first 3 sprays were for him to get a haircut in June, which he's already like reneging on. He's like, hey, Chris, I'm not getting a haircut. I'm only getting 1 haircut a year. But so his new thing is that what?
He'll clean Frankie's litter box for an entire month.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So he says, give me the 3 bottles and I'll clean scoop Frankie's poop for a month. And I said, okay, well, you scoop Frankie's poop for a month and then I will give you the 3 bottles.
Oh, he wants it up front.
Yeah, he wants it up front. And I said, no, you ain't going to play me like that. Because it's like a contractor saying, yeah, I'll build that fence for you. I need $18,000 for materials. Okay, here's $18,000 for materials. And then they're gone the next day.
Yep.
So
we know how this works.
Yeah. It's not that I don't trust him, but I don't trust him. Or it's like the Pawn Stars guy. It's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust anyone. Yeah, I have 9 bottles left.
900 sprays.
Over 900 sprays. Could be 96 million sprays. But did you notice the behavior with all that sugar?
I didn't.
Yeah. Maybe it's micro doses. It's so small. Even though it's 100 sprays, it's
like barely anything.
0.6 of an ounce.
So you're saying this isn't a problem? Let him have it.
Sure.
And oop.
So also on the Lennox front, he got called into the principal's office for a Discord chat. And for people who don't know, Discord is a chat room platform, messaging platform, social. It's not exactly social media, but you start a room and you chat with your friends, you communicate. And it's kind of fuzzy how the walls came crashing down, but one of his friends' moms got a hold of this Discord chat, started scrolling up, started seeing people saying questionable things and some morally questionable pictures. But he got called into the principal office. And so this has been, you were freaking out. You kept like refreshing your email expecting expel or go to a continuation school or something.
I was a little nervous. He came home and told us about it. Yeah. And he's like, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get an email from the principal or something. I still haven't. So I don't know what became of all this.
Yeah.
But I was relieved that I haven't got anything yet.
He immediately deleted the Discord server, it's called. And he's like, it's gone. There's no evidence. And I'm like, no, dude. Discord has archives and databases, and they keep logs. And the feds. And he said, why? And I said, well, for terrorists. Like, if the FBI wants some text message, they can get a. What do you get when the judge signs? Search warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, nothing's ever deleted. Nothing's ever gone forever.
Right. It's all in the cloud. It's all the NSA has it. Your ISP has it. But I said, well, they do it for terrorists because they want to. Sometimes they need evidence, and then they also do it for kids sending bikini pictures to each other. But we've been trying to nail down exactly what was happening in this Discord. Yeah. And he's very evasive.
Well, he didn't do anything. It's right. All the other kids.
Right.
It's not him.
He's innocent.
Yes.
His rosy little cheeks as he smiles. I ain't doing that thing.
They were sending offensive memes in the chat. Not him.
No, of course not. And we asked him if he cursed. And he said, well.
And
he's 11. When I was 11... we didn't have Discord. We barely had the internet. But I had posters of women, scantily clad women in bikinis up in my bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
Because I had to announce my heterosexuality to the world. I had to make sure. No questions.
You had to remind yourself every day.
Yes. Well, there were questions internally of myself, if you know what I'm saying. But I had bikinis, clad women up on my walls, and I got the posters from Sam Goody. And then later it was more sports and rappers posters on the wall. But I mean, bikini pictures and curse words, I don't think it's a big deal. And yeah, from
what we've gleaned, I don't think it's any cause for concern.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about what was happening. I do wonder if we should be a little bit more vigilant about I do check his phone from time to time.
Yeah.
But I think maybe more frequently I need to. Do you think I should be more on top of that?
Yeah. It's hard to draw the line between this is a kid being a kid versus this is a cause for concern. I think I know Lennox's heart and soul. He's a good kid. He'll drift into some obscenities.
Today, he said, we were sitting here at the dining table, and he said the word hella. I can't remember the context. So that's hella good.
Ooh.
And then he said, can I say that? And I said, well. And he said, Mom, I'm growing up. So I guess we need to give him a little leeway. Let the boy say hella.
Who does he think he is? Russell Fisher?
And oop.
Okay, so we live in a condominium complex, and mail theft is a problem. And it's a problem all over Sacramento, probably wider, but the community mailboxes and apartments, condominiums, even new houses, new construction has them, where in a bunch of single family homes there might be 20, 30 boxes in one spot, but ours there's 100 or so. But they constantly get broken into, and it's been nonstop since we moved here. And there's all sorts of solutions or people trying to offer anything, build a fence. Okay, Donald Trump, but like the price quoted was $500 per unit to build a fence, and just a fence around a little mail center.
This is gonna be the most high security fence you've ever seen in your life.
Super eyesore.
Build a fence and make the thieves pay for it.
And oop.
So our HOA gal, Kathy Bailey, she's been quite the vigilante. First off, she got on to ABC 10, the local news station. They did a piece on mail theft in West Sacramento and Pocket. But she was on there. She was interviewed. We see constant signs of Carl Curtis, who's the CBS consumer reporter guy. He investigates people done wrong by companies and stuff. Imploring us to go to city council meetings.
She's gone to city council meetings, and a few other residents here went along with her to the most recent city council meeting.
You need to email Martha Guerrero, who's the West Sacramento mayor. It's been nonstop messaging.
They did put up some cameras. They put up signs. We've gotten multiple footage. There's been a license plate caught on camera here and there. Some people were like caught. Yeah,
we've seen videos of a guy and girl breaking into our mailboxes at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And it's like, okay, nothing happened. Because you can see them, but you can't really. They usually have a hood up. It's dark. And the camera is like from the top angle, so it's hard to see.
And I think, like, what is this, a misdemeanor, if that?
Yeah.
So, and plus it's not the same people that keep hitting it. There's like multiple culprits, I believe.
Yeah. Another argument against the fence is our pool has a fence, and sometimes non-residents will take a dip in there.
Sure.
In the middle of the night. They just scale the fence. They put up a pink sign, which, again, is just an eyesore, and it looks like a third grader made it. Like they cut some letters out from a magazine saying "Take your mail every day."
Yeah, that's the number one solution right now. Is they're urging all residents to pick up your mail every single day.
Yeah,
which at first was a pain, but I have gotten in the habit of it now. So I've been doing that regularly for us for at least like 6 months now.
So Kathy Bailey, our HOA gal, she posted on our condo Facebook, 2 of us are monitoring the mailboxes right now. And this is in the PM, late evening. 2 of us are monitoring the mailboxes right now, taking shifts in the evening and the early morning. If you are interested in taking a shift, drop a note here. Standing guard? Kathy, can I bring my bottle of Johnny Walker and a shotgun? Well, first of all, what if someone hits the mailboxes while Kathy Bailey's on guard? Is she gonna tackle them? Is it like a visual deterrent like TSA? Is it gonna be like those videos you see of hoodlums barging into a Walgreens and just taking everything from the makeup counter, and the security guard just sitting there going, say, hello, have a nice day, welcome to Walgreens?
Yeah, would they dare attack Kathy Bailey? Is she scared sitting out there at night? I'd be a little scared.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's like in the low 20s temperature wise these days, or the 30s. It's freezing right now.
Scared and cold. But I don't. I admire her, but at the same time, but something's got to be done. Or what can be done?
Something's got.
Get rid of mail. Let's go all email. Paperless office.
Paperless. That's the way. This isn't the option though. This is not like standing guard.
Yeah.
Taking shifts. That's not. And I think Kathy Bailey has a full-time like office job.
Yeah. And she's
like, our condos are not her number one job.
Well, they're close number 2. She's a junior firefighter, don't you know, honey?
I do.
But if she's sitting there, well, like in the movies, they say, hey, I'll take the morning shift of guard, And then that person falls asleep. Does Kathy Bailey say, hey, you should have been standing guard. We could have been hidden. Like, there's no solution, right?
No. I mean, getting your mail every day.
I guess
is good.
Putting in like a new structure, a new building where you got to go into a door.
Oh.
And then going inside. Like how they have ATMs sometimes, like inside the front doors, and you got to put your card in to get to the ATM. That might be a solution, but it's been going on for so long. I've been a victim of mail, honey. I bought a hoodie from Abercrombie, and it never came. And I contacted the seller, went back and forth, and it was stolen because we got a report of there was a mail break-in, and that was when the hoodie should have been here. And so, like, I filed, like, the seller was very helpful and giving me tracking numbers and proof of purchase and all this stuff. And I had all the evidence, and I submitted it through the post office website, and they were like, we can't help you. Sorry. So I was like, okay, well, thanks a lot. But what they're going for is checks, right? They go for a check, and then they scratch out a name or quote-unquote erase a name.
Yeah, it's got to be checks. Or do they want personal, like, bank information or social security information?
Maybe.
Stuff like that. They probably just grab it all, and then some stuff is like easy cash, like a check they could fraudulently cash check in. It's
odd because, like a lot of condos here we get Amazon stuff. You'll see packages in front of people's doors for days, and they don't get taken. There's probably some good stuff there. That's way better, higher odds, and I hope there's a check in here.
That's really interesting. Why? Well, not to give anyone any ideas, but why hit up the mailboxes but not the porches? No
clue. I mean, the mailboxes are much geographically a lot less area to cover. But you walk around here during the day, there's not much going on. You can make out like bandits. You saw something on Nextdoor, honey.
A man posted to Nextdoor that he was walking in the evening around here in our little condo neighborhood, and a woman in a white car rolled down her window and started yelling at him and accusing him of not living here.
Ooh.
And then she screeched off and sped away, and he left a description of her, a description of the vehicle. So I think the people who are defending our mail, like the vigilantes, like they're becoming like drunk with power and rage, paranoid. And they're just super paranoid, and
we're turning on each other.
Yes,
it's what the Republicans want. We're a divided nation. The paranoia, skepticism. Everyone's a suspect. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like Big Brother. I mean, we're turning on each other. Our fellow man. When we first moved here, I flirted with the idea of getting a gun to protect our home. But I was like, I don't want to deal with that responsibility. Lennox, Luna, here. But if you're for a gun, I'm for guns too. And if you're against the Second Amendment, well, guns are bad. I hate guns. But we settled on a baseball bat. So we went to Walmart on Folsom Boulevard, and they got a ton of bats there. And I stood there in the aisle, and I was swinging.
We had a really hard time deciding between the neon orange and the neon pink.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, first it's got to be light enough so I could swing it quickly.
Right. We went with aluminum.
Yeah. Quickly, multiple times, but you want it like hefty enough, like not too light, because then you're like hitting them with the freaking chopstick or something. So yeah, I stood there in the aisle like Tony Gwynn, taking swings. How did I look, honey?
You looked great.
I looked like a young Roberto Clemente. But we have a bat, and it sat in the corner of our bedroom.
Collecting dust these last 3 years.
It's there. But for the most part, there's no real quote-unquote crime here. But the mailbox thing.
The mail is the thorn in all of our sides.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us, I haven't seen my dad for 38 years, give or take a year. And him and my mom had me, and they never got married. They broke up pretty quickly when I was 6, 7. My mom remarried. And around 7 or 8, he just dropped off the face of the earth. Before that, spent a few weeks here and there with him. I don't know if they had any like official joint custody or partial custody. I don't think so. I don't think the courts were involved at all. But he just dropped out of my life when I was 7 or 8. Haven't seen him since then. I'm in contact with his sister, my Aunt Tina. She's in New York. I flew out to see her when I was 13. And just spent a couple weeks out there hanging, getting to know, meeting other family members, just making a connection with Aunt Tina and her husband, Uncle Richard. But we maintain contact, but once every few years, out of the blue, an email, a text. But she called me yesterday, and she said, "Your dad's dead. My dad died behind a church in Houston, Texas," whatever that means. There's we don't know anything. We just know the location, and they listed his death as aneurysm, some other medical terminology. I have no idea. Probably he liked to drink. He drank too much. And so I have closure after 30 plus years. I never thought I would. I thought he was dead already. Part of me did. To know that gives me some peace of mind. Yesterday was a flurry of emotions because this happened afternoonish, and talking to my Aunt Tina, talking to my mom, talking to you. It was just there's a lot going on. So the question is, he is in Houston, Texas. Harris County is at the coroner. Do I go out there? And I've just been going back and forth all day. I'm still on the fence. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't want to. And I say this with no malice or hate or anger, but I just don't think he doesn't deserve it from my end. I can easily compartmentalize this and not get emotions all involved. It's one of my talents. It's one of my secrets. But I just look at it logically. Like, he was a good dad, a cool dad, a great dad for 7-ish years. But then there was no role, zero role in my life. And so what do I owe him? He hasn't kept in contact. If he was alive, if I didn't see him for 35 plus years, and whatever hospital called and was like, "Your dad's in the hospital. He's in a hospice. He's going to go soon." Different story. I'd be out there ASAP. If he had a role, even limited, small, minimally significant role in my life, same thing. I'd be out there. But I just look at, I only have the evidence before me, and there hasn't been much. There's been nothing. And I don't hate him for it. I'm not mad. I'm just like, I'm just trying to be as level-headed, as objective as possible about this whole deal. And I just don't want to do it. I couldn't imagine what he looks like. He may have been homeless. He was probably homeless. Was he homeless for 3 decades? I don't know. And I've never done this, but I imagine it's like the movies where you walk into the corners and they unzip the body bag and you say, "Oh yeah, that's my dad." I can imagine what he looks like. I wouldn't even recognize him probably at this point. And also, he's been dead since mid-February. February.
Yeah, 19th, I think.
February 19th.
It took It took them a couple weeks to track down any relatives, which was his sister. They finally just got a hold of her.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. So, and I on one hand, it could crush me. On the other hand, I think I could take it, get over it. But I don't want to do that to myself. Or why would I do that to myself? To see him. And I miss the dude. I love the dude. I wish he was in my life. I wish I knew. Because he was a vagabond. He was an outlaw in more ways than one. He lived life on his own terms, which doesn't really lead to a stable family life, and you can't really be a dad, head of household. But he's lived a life, dude, and I would love to hear stories. And my short time with him, without my mom, is quite off the grid, on the edge of life and society. Lots of crashing in people's houses, just very insecure. That there was we didn't know where we were going to sleep from night to night. But I never was in danger. I never felt scared. A lot of times we would crash in a house, but there'd be kids there, and we could watch Knight Rider and all that stuff, and hang out and play. And he drank, but he never got reckless about it. Around me. I never felt endangered. He was never egregious about it. But I'm like, and I talked to the coroner. You can do everything. You don't have to go there.
Right.
They can send you a form and you sign it and fax it back to them, and they take care of cremation. They'll mail you the ashes. So, and it's airfare, hotel. I got to turn my life topsy-turvy, upside down. It's a couple grand and it's a couple days, but I feel like I don't owe him that, or he doesn't deserve that. And I say that with love. Like I say that just with as much admiration as possible. But he's gone. I have closure. My aunt was like, I want to see him to get closure. I'm like, well, I have closure. Mm-hmm. We know his status. Yeah. He's gone.
I think both choices are fine. Like if that's what she needs to do. If that's what you wanted to do, that would be fine. If it's not, like, whatever you feel is best for you.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed. I'm kind of amazed that we heard anything ever.
Yeah.
Like we could have never found out one way or another what became of him.
Yeah.
So there is closure there. It's good to finally know.
Yeah. And when my aunt called me yesterday, I was like, what the hell do I do? Because this is my first death directly, parent death.
And it's also, there's it's not like,
like
when my parents die, like they kind of have their affairs in order. They're, they're making they've made some preparations,
right?
But this is just, it's sudden.
Yeah.
It's in a different state.
Yeah.
We don't know what the heck to do.
Yeah. So I didn't know what the hell to do. And then I called my mom and we shed tears, and she's like, you need to go there. You need to go there and take care of your dad. And I was like, okay. And I hopped on Expedia. I was looking at flights and hotels. But the more we talked and the more I thought about it, I was just like, why? Like, there's not going to be a funeral. There's not going to be an event, anything formal. So I would be going there, or myself and my Aunt Tina would just be going there to bring his ashes back on the plane. But now I'm teetering back to going to Houston in about 2 weeks. But 90% just to see my Aunt Tina, because I haven't seen her since Oakland, she came out here to Oakland 7-8ish years ago. So I would get to see her, and this is horrible circumstances, but this is how it is. This is life. So 90% to see her and connect with her and just celebrate my dad, and 10% because he is my dad by blood. And she was like, you don't have to see him because I want to remember him as handsome, young. He lifted, he played ball, his hands, good looking dude. My aunt's been sending me pictures of him in high school. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Way bigger than all the other kids.
Oh my gosh.
Super buff.
Yeah. So it's like the wrestling team picture, and it's him and like 9 other boys, and this is high school.
He looks like The Rock, and then there's all these other little scrawny kids.
He's a man amongst the boys, and that's how I want to remember him, and I don't want to remember him as some vagrant. I refuse to believe he was homeless for 30 plus years, but I'll never know. He bounced between jobs and maybe had a lady friend here and there, had an apartment, he had roommates. I'll never know. And he died behind a church. To me, that I don't know if that's meaningful in any way or significant. It could have been in an alley. I have no idea. But yeah, I love the dude. I bear no ill will. What he had going on was mental. He was diagnosed schizophrenic, chemical imbalance, whatever you want to call it. He had mental health issues. And he just couldn't live according to society. And he wanted to blaze his own path. And my mom realized, well, I want to provide something stable for my son. And he just couldn't handle that. He couldn't hang with that. But he marched to his own tune. A great dude. Breaks my heart. Waste of a life. But he's at peace now. Yeah. Well, any thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections on the past 12 hours, my love? 24 hours.
It's been very emotional.
Yeah.
It's just been kind of surreal because, like I said, I thought this was a mystery that we might never hear of anything about.
Yeah.
But I love seeing pictures of you when you're little with your dad.
Yeah.
I wish I could have met him. I wish I could have known him.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see you and him together.
Yeah.
Just to, because when we're with your mom,
Yeah.
and I only have met her a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So, but every time we're together, it's so fun to just see.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes there's little like
Our dynamic
things she does that will remind me of you, or like little
really?
like facial expressions, or just like little things like that. So
Yeah.
I would have loved to see like what little things or similarities the two of you had.
Yeah. And I didn't talk to my Aunt Tina in years and years. And so she's giving me information about the coroner and phone numbers and case number, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and I was on speaker, you were right there. And she said, do you have a pen? And I said, yes, Aunt Tina, my wife has a pen. She's right here. And she's like, oh, you're married. And I said, yes. And so that was really cool to catch her up with that. And I sent her a ton of pictures of us today and Lennox and Luna. But yeah, it's just, it's like any funeral. There's laughs because you think about the good times, you joke about the bad times, but there's also tears because it's just sad, dude. Brings you down. But overall, yeah, I'll probably head out to Houston in a few weeks to celebrate my dad, to pay tribute. Yeah, that's it. H-Town. I talked to the coroner lady today. She kept saying y'all. So if y'all want to fly in, or if y'all want to call bereavement services. And then she called me Mr. Vince, and I said, thank you.
Did you start talking like her?
Yes, I am now. Girl. Well, my mom summed it up with, your dad was a great dad, but a horrible partner for her. So, and props to my mom because she just moved on. I never saw her long for him or wish he was around, and I took cues from that. Father's Day would come around, I'd be like, and I would think about him, but she remarried Kurt, who is a great male role model, filled that role for me very willingly. I had friends who had great dads. I think Arnold Gonzalez's dad was a great man. So I always had like a strong male presence in my life, thank goodness. But yeah, I miss the dude, and he's gone now. Hopefully he's at peace. It did, I guess, close the chapter, and it made me look at my life, our life. Just catching up with Aunt Tina, and I've just been thinking about all that, just where we are and how we're established, how the life we've built. It's caused me to like float above and kind of take a big picture, wide look at what's going on. So yeah, that's that. Houston, H-Town, I'm coming for you in 2 weeks. And another thing is that, so my mom is turning 75 this year, and we're planning to do a big 16-day cruise to Hawaii. And so we started talking about this about a week ago. We've been going back and forth about cruises and fun and pools and excursions and food and more food and drinking and just having a grand old time. So after I got off the phone with Aunt Tina, my mom texted me while, like, at the end of my phone call with Aunt Tina. So I called my mom right away, and my mom right away starts in on cruise, Hawaii, islands. Are the kids going to be bored? Medallion, Princess Cruise, Crown. There's going to be a gin. And me and you, we were laughing because we were like, okay, we're about to break the news of my dad dying. My mom has no clue, which is perfectly understandable, perfectly fine. So she's flying off at the handle about our fantastic vacation, and me and you were just kind of laughing and smiling because the ball's about to drop. And
hold that thought. We have something to tell you.
I'm like, hey, Mom, do you know who called me right away? She said, Aunt Tina. And I was like, yeah. And she said, why? And I said, my dad died. And she was like, oh. And it was the call we've been expecting. We've been expecting, but we haven't been expecting because it's been so freaking long. But yeah, rest in power. Love the guy. My Aunt Tina actually was saying that, well, he came out here to California for reasons. But it was because of those reasons that I'm here, that he met my mom.
Yeah.
And it's just how life works out. It's not always the path you plan or think or hope for, but you go down the road.
You're here, and we're all glad you are.
Thank you, darling. Alrighty. Well, I think we're done. We're done?
Sure.
Okay. Well, catch us on Discord. We'll be exchanging bikini pictures and obscene comments. Bye-bye.